Facebook Shops has now arrived in the UK.
Over the past year, we have all seen a massive increase in the use of video, whether that be endless Zoom calls,
I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
kids being taught over video, or social media lives. Now, Instagram have just announced, after some speculation and rumours, that they are now going to increase their Instagram live to 4 people. Previously, it was only 2 people, but now they have doubled it in the hope that people will create more content and be able to use it more freely.
Facebook has now launched its very own shops feature, which means that businesses in the UK can now sell their products or their services on Facebook itself without having their own online store. So e-commerce is slowly making its way onto social media. And in February this year, TikTok and Shopify launched a partnership to help businesses in the UK thrive. So the future of online shopping might be on social media. Watch this space.
So LinkedIn have finally done some innovation, which is great. So 3 things to cover today. The first is the My Companies tab. And most importantly, you can recommend content for your colleagues to share. So LinkedIn say that employees are 60% more likely to share content or engage with content from their co-workers. And they're also 14 times more likely to engage with posts that come from your company's profile. So making it easy for your employees and colleagues to share content on LinkedIn is a great way of boosting your reach. The second is products and services. So you can now list your products and services on your LinkedIn company page. You can add client testimonials, and you can also have lead generation forms of people on LinkedIn to capture their data if they're interested in one of your particular services. So a great new way of getting leads directly through LinkedIn. And the final one is obviously stories, because everybody loves stories. So they launched stories for individuals last year. They've now opened it up to companies' pages. And the good thing is that any company, despite the size of your following, can now access swipe up links. So it's a great way of engaging your community in a slightly different way, reach your customers in a slightly different way, and make it easy for them to access your content by swiping up to a website or a report or something that you wanna share. So 3 great things coming from LinkedIn. Definitely check those out.
You may have seen a lot of different things in the news recently about Facebook's dramatic decision to stop showing news in Australian people's news feeds. Now, this was all in response to a new law that the Australian government was bringing in that would have required Facebook and Google to start paying publishers for people who were sharing their links in the news feed. Seems reasonable, right? Well, maybe not. Forcing big tech to pay their fair share for when people share news links on their platforms may sound reasonable to a lot of people, and in practice, when it's been positioned that way by the written media, that really does sound reasonable. But in practice, is this not a whole load of bollocks? The entire law makes no sense. Publishers already get money from Facebook and Google from people clicking through to their horrendous, shitty clickbait content with all the ads that they rip to pieces. So why should they have to start paying them again for the privilege? It's absolutely ridiculous. On that basis, are Reddit and Twitter going to have to start paying media conglomerates just because somebody has linked to a news site off of their platforms? Is every single independent forum or website going to have to start paying Rupert Murdoch for the privilege of hosting one of their great articles on their site? This is where it leads to with this kind of mentality. It's absolutely ridiculous. Laws like this are dangerous, and they set an awful precedent for the internet and social media. Why on earth should Facebook be compelled to pay publishers for money when they're already making money from them? It makes far more sense to me that they could just turn off news completely, like they have. Even the father of the internet, Tim Berners-Lee, who's absolutely no friend to Facebook or Google, has lamented laws like this, saying it breaks a fundamental principle of the internet that sites can link together freely. The point of this is that government should not be compelling big tech to start paying massive news corporations a nice tidy sum for simply hosting their content on social media or within Google. It literally makes no sense, and it's a dangerous, dangerous precedent. And in practice, a lot of big tech have started to cut deals anyway with news corporations. Google themselves have just announced that they're going to be paying Rupert Murdoch's company multi-million pounds a year for hosting their content within Google. Facebook have already set up Facebook News, where you'll find not just stuff from all of the big media publications, but also a few local publications, and they'll be paying publishers that way. Now, that's very much on their terms, but let's not forget, this is their platforms ultimately. And if they want to turn around and say, look, I'm sorry guys, you're not going to have any news now if you're going to force us to pay, then that's their prerogative. And I'm sorry, get used to it.